A new search and destroy update, and I just wanted to showcase something that I've been fiddling with here kind of all day, keeping my mind busy off of other things. And yeah, so as you can see, I started designing and building a battleship turret to go on my larger ships. I'll also upload it to the workshop eventually, but right now this is it. Now, you can see here I've got quite a bit of ammo underneath here, and I had to come up with an interesting way. The enemy's captured an island. Ooh. I had to come up with an interesting way of getting this ammo into the gun, into the barrel, while still maintaining the barrel's ability to actually elevate and rotate and shoot and stuff. So I didn't want to have all of this ammo hooked up constantly, because I wanted to be able to put this under the deck, have this above the deck, and have the top part rotate. I know on battleships and whatever, the whole entire structure rotates, but I didn't want that to happen here. So I've got my gun view here. I can program in my elevation and my rotation. As you see, I got those limited. -90, +90 on the rotation, and elevation I can go up to 35 degrees, which for a battleship is pretty darn good. So let's set a elevation of, let's go 5, because I think 10 is a little short for here. Whoops. Elevation of 5, just to display. You see it comes down, and let's do rotation of, say, 10 degrees. You'll see it rotate over 10 degrees. Okay. So now I don't see, it's turned a little bit, it's rotated at 10 degrees. I got my elevation up a little bit, and we're aiming at that mountain over there. Now I don't believe I have it loaded yet, so let's load it. And loading is kind of interesting because I had to have it come back to 0, because as you can see right now, the feed pipe where it's gonna connect is not in sync. So when I load, my barrel goes back to 0, it syncs up, locks in, and we load her up. And then we unload, it returns to position, and ready downrange, fire. Kaboom! And we make a hole in a mountain. So again, resets, reloads, fire. Resets, reloads, fire. So, as is, the cannon works pretty good. There's a small glitch, a very small glitch, that I found, in that I can only load one turret, because the developers currently have a bug. I'll take you in to take a look at this. On the inside, if I go inside, actually, you know what? I'll just strip the back, so it's easier to see. Where's my erase? Eraser! Strip the back so it's easier to see. And I'll open up a hole in the side here too. And I'll open up a hole on the other side here too. These will be easy to replace, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, so there's my turret. There's how the inside looks. As you can see, there's quite a bit going on here. If I switch to this, you can see the feed lines. So I have this giant magazine under here, completely loaded up. And that magazine down there connects to what I like to call the bridge, which is this section here. That is the pink section. As you can see here, the pink section. So, yeah, there. So the pink section is what I call the bridge. It is movable. It moves in and out of position. And the reason for that is because when it's not loading, when the gun's not loading, I need it to be out of the way of the elevation of the turrets, or of the cannons, the barrels. I need it to be out of the elevation of the barrels, but I also need it to be out of the way of this section down here, which is the let's call it ammo storage. So I need it out of the way of the ammo storage, and I also need it out of the way of the barrel elevation. So the only way to do that is to physically move it out of the way. And I found that moving it up one block and back one block was enough to do that. So you can see that happens right here. There's a track right here, and there's a track right here. So it goes up one block, and it goes back one block, and that's enough to get it out of the way. As you can see, it's not hitting here. It's not connected. It's out of the way. There's enough space there that this can swing down. Right now it's at a 0 elevation, which is the lowest it can go. A 0 elevation. So when the barrels go up, this comes down, kind of like a teeter-totter. One side goes up, one side comes down. So with this coming down, it can only move away from this. So it can't get any closer to that. So these right now are not going to hit each other, basically. Same with down here. These black end pieces don't really count for anything. As you can see, I can pass right through them. So the black pieces, it doesn't matter if the black pieces bump into each other or not. What matters is if this piece here, this solid piece here, bumps into the solid piece here. So again, I needed to retract those one block away from each other just to make sure they didn't hit each other. The black parts here will pass through each other. Doesn't matter. As I said, they're not collision. And then, of course, it rotates on the base right here. This is where the base rotation is. So, with that said, let's see this thing. Oh, the problem I was having. These guys right here are called junctions. These T connections. One right here, one right here. I'll switch to this. So this is called a junction right here. This junction here, this junction here. Now junctions are supposed to do two things. They're supposed to merge two lines into one. They're also supposed to split one line into two. The merge two lines into one, they've got working. You can select, you can use a trigger, which if I go into the logic here, you can see the trigger here, the junction switch. So you can use the switch to say, hey, I want to feed from the left, or I want to feed from the right and send it down the center. The opposite of that is I want to feed into the center. I want it to pump out the left or out the right, either way, or left or right. That doesn't seem to be working. It seems to only be feeding to the left. Even if you send a signal to it, it only feeds to the left. So what happens is my ammo is supposed to come in here, up here, and at this T intersection, it's supposed to send a shell down here and then send shells through the rest of the system. But what it does is it just sends the shells through the system. And same here. It's supposed to send one shell down into this breach and shells around the system, but it doesn't do that. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the shells coming in, you're going to see them coming up, around, and then down into this one without this barrel and this barrel being loaded. Hopefully they fix that glitch so this will function properly. As is right now, it is set up to function properly. It's just not. So I'm going to leave it as is and hope that they fix that problem. Otherwise, it works perfect. I press 1 and 2, nothing happens because, of course, those barrels have nothing in them. I press 3, barrel 3 fires. And when I go into a reload mode, it should reload all 3 barrels. So let's take another look out here. We'll spawn it in. And now you can actually see what's going on inside. I purposely left these empty so you can actually see the shells coming up from the magazine, I guess we'll call it, the ammo magazine, and you can see them coming up, going across the bridge into the turrets. I also put a button on here that it's kind of up, so I could do it manually, but it's kind of out of the way right now. So let's go to here, and I'll press this, and we'll go up here, and then I'll hit the number 6 and you'll be able to see the reload system work. Remember that pink section, the bridge, is currently out of position. Actually, it's not. Wait, why is that not? Why is that lined up? It's currently lined up. It shouldn't be lined up. It's currently down. Why is it down? It shouldn't be down. Okay, I deleted something because I can't stop it now from loading. So between then and now, I did something to screw that up. What did I do? Weird. Between what I just showed you and what's going on now, something changed. Oh, I want to... There we go. F. Whoops. Arr. F. Get out of my seat. F. B. There we go. Okay, so what happened? Whoop, that's not what I want. Merge, make sure these are proper. They are proper, okay. That's fine, all that's fine. Let's go to our logic and take a quick peek here. Logic is hooked up there, there, and there. That is hooked up to my input-output, which comes from here. All of that stuff is hooked up proper. That is... Oh! Well, that doesn't really matter, but that should be connected there. That doesn't really matter, though. That's my blinker, which should be alternating left and right barrels, but it's or left and right junctions, but it's not. So that's what that is. This is my trigger, which should trigger this system, and then that should trigger the breeches to open. It should trigger this guy to move forward and down. There should be no issues there. This is hooked up there, that's hooked up there. And all of these are hooked up here. So where is my issue? Oh! Oh! Crap. I see my problem. When I deleted the wall, I deleted my electrical feed. So that's my bad. So I need an electrical cable anchor, and I'll just put it here. And the reason I need this is I need to get electricity to this section here, which is separate from this section here. So what I do is I'll go logic, I'll go rope, I'll connect those two via rope, and then I will send power to that, and that in turn will send power through that rope to this entire system. Okay, so now everything should work. Okay, so let's do a quick save on this just to fix that up, and then there. All right, make sure it's up and back. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go. In our pilot seat, we're going to set our elevation to 5. Okay, barrels go up. Set our rotation. Let's go a little further this time. We'll go 20. And rotation 20. Alright. Now, whoops. Back to the seat. Hit tab. Go up and take a look. Okay, so you can see the electrical line hooked up now. And you can see that's currently lifted up. And you can see the orange section is on a tilt because I'm currently at a elevation of what I set, 5? Elevation of 5. So you can see it's currently tilted down. Now, that's not going to line up unless it tilts back, and that's not going to line up unless it rotates back. So that's what I set in my little controller there, to have it rotate back to 0, of course. So if I press 6 now, you'll see it rotate back. You'll see it connect up. The bridge has now connected the bottom to the orange, and you can see the ammo transferring through. And you can see how it's going up and over to the last one. It's going to the very far one. And that, of course, is the problem. It should be sending a couple down to the shells below, too. And I press 6 again. The breeches load. It goes back to its targeting position. You can see it cycles between 0 and back to the targeting positions I have set. Now when I press 3, we fire one down range. And then, of course, that is empty. We'll reload. You'll see the shell come out. And there it is. Reload. Fire again. So as you can see, once it's once it's primed, which is what we did with the very first load, once it's primed, it's actually pretty quick to reload. Just like that, and she's reloaded. Bam. Fire another one, just like that. Prime it, reloaded. Bam. So it is pretty quick to prime and reload. And I'm probably going to set a system so that when it detects it's loaded, once it detects that the barrels are loaded, it will just automatically go back to fire mode. Like I'll try to set, well, yeah, the way I'm going to program it is when all the barrels are empty, it goes into reload mode. When all the barrels are full, it goes into fire mode. I think that's the way I'm going to set it. And then sometime during the reload process, what I'll have it do is just cycle the breach in and out, so that it breach out, shell will go in, breach will go in, and then it'll trigger to show this one's loaded. Or I'll just have it pop open the breach automatically when it's empty. There's that option too. Pop open the breach for so many seconds once it's empty. And then it can go into reload mode all on its own. Fire it off. Like so. Reload. And these are actually the high explosive rounds. Which, I don't know, they don't look explosive to me, or at least not very explosive. Let's go to our view here. Reload. And you see down here I have an indicator to show it's loaded. And it doesn't look very high explosive to me. I don't know. What do you think? I don't think that's very high explosive. So normally I'd be going bang, bang, bang. But I only have the one shot, unfortunately. And then, of course, like I said, if I want to pick another target, I just come down here and I enter it in. Now, the reason I'm entering it in is because what I want to do is I want to have a radar detecting targets and then relaying the target information. So the way you'd normally do in a battleship, well, I guess it would be an older style battleship, you have somebody spotting and they'll say elevation this, rotation this, fire. And so you'll be sitting here as the gunner going elevation, okay, elevation 15, roger, elevation 15, and then they'll go 90 degrees to starboard, or let's go 40 degrees to starboard. Yeah, right, 40 degrees starboard. And then they'll say ready, and you'll sit there ready, and then they'll say fire, and you'll fire off a shot. Of course, I don't have one loaded, but you know. So this is probably going to put a hole in the side of the build. Well, maybe. Might not. Let's see what it does. Oh, it cleared. It cleared the building, and it's way the hell over there somewhere. I think it cleared the island. It's very possible it cleared the island. I don't know. I think it should have. I think it should have hit the wall by the looks of this. It should have. Well, maybe not. No, it would have went out the door. It would have went out the door and right through that. Right there. Yeah. So anyway, this is pretty much what I've been working on for most of the day, was setting up this system. I really wish I could show you all three barrels working, because that would be great. I'll do a quick return to workbench here, just so I can show you my my loading system. Like I said, this is just comes up one, goes back one. The controller I put in here, up here, and if I can switch over to here, I'll show you the inputs. I have one output. This is the reloading system. This triggers the breeches to open on the barrels. It also triggers the motors to activate, the feed motors. Most of them anyway, or some of them anyways. So it'll trigger, or does it? No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't. The feed motors are automatic. Yeah, the feed motors are automatic. So the reloading system, what it does is it triggers the breeches open. It also triggers this blinker down here, which is supposed to set the. It's supposed to cycle back and forth the junctions, which, like I said, that's broken right now. And it also comes down here and engages the system here to move. This is basically just a little switch box I created that goes. If it's on, it's 1. If it's off, it's -1. That's all it does. And it of course sends that information to the motors on the tracks. So it brings them together, sends them apart, depending on whether it's on or off. That's all it does. So this is basically just a signal to say, hey, we've gone into reload mode. Now, this is programmed only to activate when the turret is rotated back to a 0 position. So you can see I'm getting that information from the turret base. I'm getting where the turret is currently at, what rotation it's at. So whether it's rotated, this way, that way, 90 degrees, 80 degrees, whatever, it's feeding that information into here. And then this takes that information and says, okay, is it time to activate these guys yet? So when you want to reload, all you have to do is send a signal to the turret, this controller, and this controller basically does everything for me. It will either output the information from my keypad, which the two keypads down here. Where are the two keypads? The keypads here and here. Of course, I have to do some math here because when I input 25, I want it to send 0.25 to the machine. So I just have to do some dividing. Divide by 100, divide by 100 to get those two numbers to go proper. But anyways, that said, let's go into the controller. I'll show you it. Here we go. So it's a pretty simple controller. What it does is it takes the number I have entered, okay? It clamps that number because I don't want you to be able to enter, like, for the up and down elevation of the gun, I don't want you to enter something like 90 to try to get the barrel to go straight up, because the design of the turret is that it can't go any higher than 35 without ramming into something. Either the back section that's got the ammo is going to hit the floor, or the front section barrels are going to go up and hit the ceiling, one or the other. So 35 is the maximum amount of elevation that you can give the barrel. So I clamped it. Same with left and right. I don't want you to be able to go past 90 degrees, so that's where I clamp it. I say you can go 90 degrees this way, or you can go 90 degrees that way. If you put in any other number, it's going to ignore it. Well, not ignore it. Like if you put in 120, it's just going to go to 90 and stay there. It's not going to go any farther. Anyways, it outputs that number to the cannon, up and down controls, the motors, and same here. It up and down here on the, or left and right on the turret rotation. So it just sends that number through. Now, if you click the reload button, it will automatically send 0 to the left and right, so it'll return to 0, and same with the up and down, it'll reset it to 0. So that's pretty simple. In addition, that starts a timer, and it's a 1-second timer, okay? And the reason I set a 1-second timer is because I don't just want that sucker, that reload system, I don't want it jumping into position. If it's already at 0, I don't want it just going boom. And in addition, I want it to kind of stabilize that setting before it gets into position. I don't want it to just start swinging, pop down, and it would make a mess. So I found I had to put a little delay in here of a second, just for when the turret's already at 0, so it doesn't make a mess. And then I also had to take into account the rotation of the turret. because I didn't want that coming down into position if the turret was not in position. So I have it, if the turret rotation is between +1 or -1 degree, and that timer is at 0, then it can turn on the reload systems. And of course, that bridge, the bridge, can move into position. The reload systems will activate automatically, and we'll start loading ammo. So basically, the timer's to smooth it out. The threshold here is to make sure that it's back at 0, or at a straightforward position. It doesn't really care what the elevation of the turret is. It returns that to 0 up above here. It'll return the turret elevation to 0, but it doesn't really care down here as far as it loading whether the turret's at 0, because it's going to get back to 0 before the rotation gets back to 0 and the timer runs out. That's what the timer's for, to smooth it out so it has enough time to get the barrels down. If you're firing straight, it has enough time to get the barrel down before that moves into position. So this one handles rotation here. This handles rotation, making sure the rotation's at 0. And this delay here handles the elevation, making sure the elevation's back at 0. So once the elevation's back at 0, once the rotation's back at 0, then the reload system can move into position. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I think it makes logical sense. But once again, it's never going to take more than a second for this to return to 0. So that's basically why I have it set that way. So let's spawn. And I'll show you that. I'm going to go to the turret. I'm going to set... Whoop. And watch me totally screw this up now. I'm going to set the elevation at 35, which is the highest it can go. So set at 35. See it going up. Boom. Okay. So now, hopefully, that is not going to... I used to have it at 3 seconds. I changed it to 1 second, and I haven't really tested it. So hopefully this will be level at 0 before this moves down into position. So let's see what happens. And I'm going to see if I can just hit the button here. There we go. Oh, no. Didn't happen. So it's a little slower. I might have to change that back to 3 seconds. Just to make sure that it's... Yeah, it moves down before that connects. But, you know, you're not really going to actually notice that when it's all walled in. Like, when it's all closed in, you're not really going to notice that, but I might want to make it look a little smoother. So I'll set it to 3. I'll set it back to 3 seconds just so it's a little smoother. Yeah, I think 3 seconds is going to be good. Anyway, let's fire at the roof. The roof is on fire. I think I hit the roof. I think I may have... Yeah, I shot her into the roof. Beautiful. Anyway, so that's going to cover this build for now. I'm looking forward to maybe putting this inside of a battleship build in the future. I'll have to look for a battleship hull. I'm not good at designing hulls, so I'll have to see what's online as far as battleship hulls go, and see if I can turn one into a... Maybe I'll make a nuclear battleship. I do have my nuclear reactor here, my compact nuclear reactor, which is actually really... I'm surprised at how much output I can get out of this thing for it being such a small reactor. So I might toss this into a battleship build. I'll put the cannon on the front to offset the weight of this, and yeah, it should be pretty cool. Maybe. I hope. But yeah, just give you a quick peek of other stuff I've been working on. I have a larger nuclear reactor here. This is also my compact nuclear reactor, but this is a larger build. It uses, believe it or not, it uses less rods, but it takes up more space because I have everything built into it as far as the boilers, the turbine, everything's all built in to this this reactor. So I could try using this one. I could use the other one. I've got some options for reactors. Uh, Probably won't go jet turbine. No, I probably won't go jet turbine because it uses so much fuel. I'll go nuclear for a battleship, and then I'll put the turret on it, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun with that. I still have to work on a radar system. Maybe I might even get an auto track, so I can lock onto targets. That would be cool if I could program that in. What else have I been working on? Oh, there's my larger nuclear reactor. I got my diesel generator. I've got my train to still display to you guys. That's my diesel train. I have my engine. What the heck was this one? This is a tester too. Yeah, this is my. Oh, this is my. Okay, this is my test base for. Yeah, for a medium custom engine. This is my test bed. I was trying it out, seeing if I could somehow get the gearing to go right and give me some decent power output. Mixed results, but yeah, I'm working on it. So what other things have I been working on? I've been working on this Apex class heavy lifter lately. This sucker is giving me all kinds of balls. I've got two turbines up here. I also have to remove this and put in a. I've got to remove this fan and put do a controller so that I can use the spin of the actual props to give me my yaw. Right now I have a fan on the back and it does not work right. But anyways, I've got this lifting. This puppy does lift. I'll showcase it just briefly here because I've only been streaming for 30 minutes, so let's do a little showcase of this. It is touchy, it is finicky. I have not worked all the bugs out of it, so bear with me on that. These two things on the side here, these are the fuel tanks. I found I needed a lot of fuel for this thing. And I also have a cargo container here that has quarters as well as medical facilities. I do intend on putting some more equipment in here, like maybe between these. So maybe have like the defib and whatnot between these. Have not done that yet. I'm still working on the flight characteristics, and also there's cabin lights in here. I can turn them on and off. When it is connected to the chopper, it is getting battery power from the chopper, and it's regenerating its own power, which is there's actually batteries hidden in this here. So it has its own when it's disconnected from the helicopter, which it just is. It still has power via the batteries that are hidden inside there. But when it's connected, it draws its power from the actual helicopter itself. So there. Now, on board here, and you can see there I got some stuff I need to hide still. I have it out in the open just because I'm still working on it. So I'll take the pilot seat here. I've got my wheel brakes, I've got my key on power, my compressor, landing gears, lights, cargo spotlights, my cargo locks, which is again the container, because this helicopter is designed to lift the default containers in the game, as well as the container I built for it. So I need to have a separate cargo lock controller in here. I also have the rotor gearbox, which I've been trying to mess around with the rotors to get more power out of them with less fuel usage. Having all kinds of problems because my turbines have to be set at between 40 to 50 to get me in the air. And there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be a better gearbox setup I can use, because I know people aren't using 11,000 liters of fuel to get to the next island and back. It's ridiculous how much fuel this thing wastes. And these guys back here are the chief users of that fuel. I got two turbines up top here. Somebody suggested adding more, not compressors, adding more turbines, so I can double or triple the output from one engine. or from each engine. I don't exactly know how that works because I thought the RPS of the engine was transferred directly out as the same RPS, so the engine actually had to be a certain RPS in order for your propellers to be that RPS. I could be wrong. Anyway, let's fire this up, do a little bit of testing. I think it's got to be at 30 to actually start. Compressor on. Listen for the poof. There it is. Compressor off. And those should stay running on their own now. Okay, so my jet engines are running. Once my turbine reaches 10 RPS, that's when my propellers will start to spin. So we'll give that a minute. Sometimes I actually have to throw it up to get that. Let's go to 35. Hear the jet turbines spooling. So my rotors will kick in here any minute now. I have the rotors automatically controlled. It's controlled through a box. Back here, those controllers right there on the side, the orange ones. Those are my rotor controllers. So they automatically engage when the engines reach a certain RPS. Or at least they're supposed to. I need to go higher. Let's go to 44. So 44%. I haven't even got my rotors spinning yet. Here the engine's throttling up. The rotor should start to spin any second now. There they go. So they'll start to get their spin on. Okay. So I got my rotor spinning pretty good. That's get the reel brakes off. It's tricky getting it out of here because right now you can see the center is sitting on the ground. So I have to kind of get it so the front end goes, or the back end lifts off. The front end stays down, and I kind of have to roll along on the front wheels. I don't know right now if I have enough rotation to actually get this thing off the ground yet. Come on. No, we got it. 40-some%. I do not have enough collective, or I do not have enough rotation to get this thing off the ground, so I gotta go. I have to take it up a bit. And unfortunately, that means I'm burning the frickin' gas right now like a madman. There we go. Oh. Not too much, just want to roll it out. Roll it out. There we go. And let's get her off the ground. There we go. So we're airborne. We'll get the landing gear up. See those kind of fold underneath. Tuck in there. Now, like I said, my yaw is pretty horrible, so I don't have really that much yaw control right now. I have a lot of pitch control, I have collective control, which, even at 50%, this thing doesn't want to stay in the air. And I've got collective, I'm at full collective right now, and she just doesn't want to stay in the air, so let's go up a little higher. 62. Like that a bit. There we go. If you go full collective, it doesn't like to fly any more than if you go partial collective, I guess. Let's see if I can use my rod and turn here. Yaw fan. Let's see if I can get her turned around. It is, like I said, very, very, very. It does not like spinning. It does not like the way I have it set up to use yaw. Not at all. So One nice thing about this helicopter is it does float, so I can land on the water with it. It's got enough buoyancy between the three sections, the rear section, the front section, and the center. It's got enough buoyancy to stay afloat. Now I'm going to drop the center section just so you can see it's... Bye-bye. Bombs away! So now you can see it without the center section. Normally I would leave that on an island or something. I wouldn't actually drop it in the middle of the ocean. So you can see I got 2 winches in the center as well as all those hard points. I have 2 winches, and I can use those winches to lift up heavy loads as well. In case I don't want to pick up a cargo container, in case I need to lift up something else, I can use those. So my yaw's been a little bit of a jerk right now. I'm trying to get straightened out towards this island over here. But I'll come in and I'll show you my fuel. It's already down to, look at it go. I'm going through probably 1,000 every, oh God. It's at 9,000. I started at 11, it's down to 9 already. So I'm burning fuel like stupid fast to keep this thing in the air. I will probably make it to this island, but I don't know if I'll have enough fuel to make it back. That's how bad it is. But I gotta figure out a way to get more economical fuel usage out of this. I was not getting enough rotation. I tried 2 medium engines and I was not getting enough rotation out of them to get the thing airborne. It is a fairly heavy chopper, but still, there should be a way to get it airborne without using like a ridiculous amount of fuel. So I'm going to bring my collective down, I'm going to get my gears out. There we go. And we'll set her down at this heliport here. Bring her in nice, hopefully. It does fly nice. It flies pretty nice. It's just I have to figure out how to get the fuel usage down. Because right now it's just stupid the amount of fuel it uses. Yeah, we'll bring her in nice here. Landing. Here. Boom. Down. Alright, so now I'm gonna go inside, I gotta hit the wheel brakes. Wheel brakes on. Bring the throttle back. And you can see I've burned through a stupid amount of fuel. And I'm still going through a stupid amount of fuel, even though I cut down to 25%, the fuel's still dropping like a rock. So I mean, there's got to be something more economical than these. If I go to full throttle, look at the usage and just choose right through it. 25% throttle. Now, honestly, I would think I should be able to fly at 25% throttle. I think I should be able to fly at 10% throttle. But again, I can't. And I have no idea why. No idea why I can't. So I'm going to key off power. That'll kill the engines. Props are freewheeling right now. They've got no brakes, so they're just going to spin until they stop spinning. And of course, my center cab is gone. It's over the lake somewhere over there. Oh, I do have. Can I turn those on without? I can turn those on. Okay, so lights. I have lights on the nose to give me spot ahead. I also have lights around the hull just to light it up a little bit, and then I have my spotlights for my cargo container pickups. I got the spotlights that point down, and of course I've got just a couple of lights on the back just to light up the craft at night. Nothing major. I have doors on both sides. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I can even landing gear up on the ground. And landing gear back down on the ground. There we go. So yeah, this is something I've been working on as well. I've been trying to make some kind of fast rescue vessel, and this seems to be the way to go, the helicopter. Airplane would of course also be acceptable, but an airplane can't hover unless you do a VTOL. I've had issues with that, so I'm thinking this would be more of a better utility vehicle. Plus, it's got the winch carrying capabilities. It's got the cargo container that I have in there, which has medical facilities, transportation facilities. I also have transportation up front here, so I can pretty much go into any situation and deal with it. I can, except for fires. I don't have fires yet. On the back here, what I intend on doing is putting a large winch in here, hooked up to a firefighting system. Actually, I intend on putting 2 winches. The one winch is going to be a line in, and it'll be for, like, say, you know, landing at location, drag out a line, stick it into water. I'll run out here, stick the line into water, okay, and then the other winch that'll be in here will be the line out. And I'll be able to grab that, run out, put water on a fire. So it's gonna be basically a pumper. It'll be like a fire truck, like a pumper fire truck, where it'll suck water from here, deposit water there, and I might even put a few tanks inside so it can carry water as well. It won't be a lot of water it can carry, but it'll be able to probably carry some water. With that onboard water, I may also put a drop system on the bottom so that they can exhaust the water out the bottom should I be over a target or something, or I might even send the pipes up these guys here. I might be able to send pipes up these guys here and maybe have like a water outlet here, water outlet over here somewhere maybe, so I can fly over a target and just kind of mist it. That would be another way of doing it. But yeah, my problem right now with this is, as I said, it uses too much fuel. I can't do anything with it because it uses too much fuel. I'm going to try a few modifications to it. Like somebody said on the back here. I'm going to take it back to the workshop. Somebody said on the back here I can put more turbines. Edit. Yeah. So the power from this comes out of this guy right here, at the back. Comes out of, oh wait, can't do that. Comes out of this guy right here in the back, and it goes to the rotors. So as you can see, if I swing inside here, you can see it's coming out of there. It's going through a gearbox to the rotors. But like I said, the problem with that, wait, is it coming out of here or is it coming out of here? It should be coming out of there. Yeah, it is. Okay. So it comes out of this guy in the back here, goes into the rotors through a couple of gearboxes. I have the rotors synced, so both jet engines come in and can connect together. Then they go through a clutch, and then the one goes out here, and the other one travels down the spine here, and it travels down. You can see it traveled down the outside here. I sent 2, just because I eventually want to leave damage on. So if something happens here, one side gets damaged, I want the front rotor to still have power. So I put 2 channels down here, just for redundancy. They connect back together here, and they run to the front rotor. So both rotors are in sync, because they're both run off the same drive shaft, but they don't have the power I need. I'm having trouble getting them the power I need, and apparently, like somebody said, I just need to add more turbines on the back here. Caps lock. I just need to add more turbines on the back here to make that happen. I personally don't know if that's possible or if that helps, because it doesn't even look like they fit together. As you can see, the corners at the back here are rounded. Whoops. As you can see, the corners on the back here are rounded, and the corners on the turbine, if I face it properly, are square. So it doesn't even look like they match. But I don't know, maybe they do. What does it say? Electric not connected. Oh, it just says electric not connected. It doesn't say input not connected. It just says electric not connected. So maybe that'll work. I don't know. I'll have to try it and see if I get more RPS out of maybe 2 turbines instead of 1. Who knows? But that'll be another day. So anyway, that's going to be it for now. Take care, everybody. And I will, of course, see you next time. That's all. And I don't know, sayonara? I don't know. I'm out of here. I can't think straight anymore. Bye-bye, everybody.